Hey there, my name is Snoot and I'm one of the community managers at Coffee Stain Studios, and today we're gonna talk about the future. Ooh. So last week we launched Update 4 on Early Access, and we're super pleased with the update, and you guys really showed up because you broke our concurrent player numbers on both Steam and Epic, so thank you so much for showing up. It's really surreal to see like your game be part of like the top most played games on Steam. On that list. So thank you so much for showing up and playing our game. So this video is going to be a little bit about some of the known issues with Update 4, and I'm going to address some of the things about it. And we're also going to talk a little bit about like what's coming next for us. But before I do that, I want to make like a little bit of a PSA about a very known issue, and I want to do it early in the video so that people catch it. On Steam specifically, we've seen a lot of issues that are related to the actual like patching of the updates. Something with the patching system on Steam, we don't quite know. We're gonna reach out to Valve and see what's going on, because we don't see anything that's wrong in our build system, and we don't see this happening on the Epic end. So we're not quite sure what's happening there. It's something with the download or something. So if you are running into issues and you're all playing on the Steam version, make sure to verify your game files. You do this by right-clicking on the game and then, how do you do it? You right-click on the game, you hit properties, you go to local files, and you hit verify game files. And that should check the files to make sure that they're like up to date and they match what you're supposed to have on your computer. And if it doesn't match, then it will download the correct files, etc., and fix it up for you. We've noticed that a lot of graphical issues that people are having has been a result of that like wonky installation or something, and verifying your game files have like solved like 9 out of 10 of those issues. So make sure to verify your game files and make sure to let people know if they're running into these type of issues, that they make sure to verify their game files, because that can resolve it in a lot of cases. So one big surprise that a lot of people have been kind of been facing coming back from maybe Update 3 and then playing on Update 4 again, and if you haven't been keeping up to date with all our like state of dev and all that jazz, which by the way we stream every week on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. CST, where we talk about what we're doing with the game, is the big surprise that like there's a bunch of power changes to the game. People are running into their power grids like going offline or blowing fuses. And the biggest reason for this is because of power changes that we made to the game. And if you're wondering why we changed power to be like this, Jace actually made a whole video exclusively talking about the power changes for Update 4. Check out the cards. But TLDR, we found that the self-regulating aspect of the generators were a kind of redundant feature on most generators due to the game having infinite resources. It also caused some confusion and conflicted with the way fuel production works after Update 3 with the polymer resin byproduct production. And it also gives you guys a little bit more control in your hands, such as with the power storage and whatnot. So I just copied Jace's homework and I presented it as my own, A+++++++. A lot of people will point out that this is like an issue with pipes and like changes we've done to the pipes, but we haven't actually made any changes to pipes or the way that fluid dynamics work or anything like that. Most often when I've been talking to people about this, it's mostly that the power like setup isn't set up for like generators running at 100% capacity. So that's mostly what people are running into. Now there are a few pipe bugs, I'm not gonna lie, but for the most part when people are running into these type of issues, it's mostly because of their power setup hasn't been like accounted for 100% fuel consumption. And not gonna lie, this is confusing because one of the issues that we have with our fluid dynamics is that they're kind of hard to like teach and they're hard to like explain. We are kind of happy with how like the complexity of fluid dynamics. We don't want to really change that too much. But one issue we have is that it's kind of hard to like explain what's going on in the pipes, etc. So a lot of people are confused about that, and that's something we're probably gonna look into more in the future. But just want to say, if you are finding the fluid dynamics confusing, or if you want to know more about it, please check out our Discord and like our Steam forums and ask away, because people are really helpful in this regard, and there are a bunch of tutorials on how pipes work. So I really recommend like reaching out to community and ask for help, because this is confusing, and the best help out there are you guys, honestly. So just a speed round of another couple of known issues and some of the workarounds that we know right now. So some people are having issues connecting to each other in the game. This is really odd issue. We're looking into it. One known workaround in some cases, if you are set with different time zones in your computer, so you have different like time settings or something like that. Make sure you have the same ones when you try to connect each other. Sometimes that has actually solved it. Not sure why, but that's been the case. And if you're getting that like timeout error when you're trying to connect, just retry like over and over again, and eventually you'll be able to connect. Or at least some people have reported that they've been able to connect eventually once they've tried it over again. On the topic of multiplayer bugs specifically, there's also a very known multiplayer bug where Foliage will not like disappear on client sometimes. Now this is an issue that's been in the game since the launch, and sometimes it just like escalates during launches because something, when we make big changes, it just appears again for some people. The reason why that hasn't been fixed up until now is because the fix for that is having to remake a big system when it comes to the Foliage. And that's something that we haven't been able to dive into, but we are going to be able to do that very soon. So I hope in the next couple of updates, maybe we'll be able to fix that. I don't know, fingers crossed. And another problem that might seem trivial is that the name of the game in like the task manager has changed from like Satisfactory to like UE4 something factory game or whatever it is. And the icon is not correct either. This is actually a bummer because it breaks third-party application support for the game. So some people have reported that they can't play the game on GeForce Now. We're aware of that issue as well. We have a fix for it internally. We just haven't been able to push it yet. So hopefully that will happen very, very, very soon. So those are just a few things that I wanted to bring up in this video right now. There are obviously a bunch more. The game is in early access. We're working really hard on it. We're trying to solve everything, you guys. Please bear with us. It be like it do. But if there's anything else that you think is important to bring up, or if you are running into issues, or if you have any feedback about the game in general, make sure to go to our questions site, questions.satisfactorygame.com. Make sure to upvote any issues that you think are important. Make sure to post any issues that you're running into, and yeah, try to tell us what's going on in your lives. And another thing I want to just address real quick is that some people have been pointing out to us that mods are broken. Yes. That's not something we can do anything about. So currently mods aren't officially supported. So these are our modding community that have been working really hard on fixing this and working on it. And they're still working on it. And I also want to say that if you're running into crashes and you have mods installed, you're kind of on your own, unfortunately, because there's no way for us to verify crashes, whether or not that's something because of the game itself or it's because something of mods. Currently, like, I think 80% of our crash reports are because of mods. And if you are getting issues, please reach out to the modding community about them. So let's talk about the future. Ooh. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's coming next? And the answer to that question is, I don't know. There's still a few hotfixes we want to do for update 4. We're currently working on those and rolling them out, as I mentioned before. But we have been moving on to update 5 actually, and that's like our next target here. We're gonna work on update 5, but we don't know when that's coming out because we're kind of still figuring out what we want to put in update 5 and how big update 5 is gonna be. And that's something that we're gonna be figuring out while we're working on update 5 essentially. So we don't have like any news yet. We're obviously gonna announce stuff once we can, but it's still a little bit too early to like nail down exactly when it will happen or what it will contain. It's gonna be sometime this year, okay? But we don't know like if update 5 is gonna be a smaller update than update 4 or a bigger one or same size, or what that's gonna entail, etc, etc. So we're just gonna have to wait and see, you guys. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for this week's video. I hope you found it informational. I hope you're enjoying update 4. And if you like this video, then hit that like button or subscribe if you want to. That's up to you. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot do. That's up to you. Anyways, take care, have fun, and we'll see each other soon enough. Bye! Wait, am I recording?